What a brave man you must be.
Yeah, a tired man. Yeah. Hello. How are you? Hello. Wow. Rocky. I'm sorry. Coming back in the room. Back in the room. Yeah. It was a huge task, and I didn't have any grey hairs before I started it, and I used to be able to sleep. And all those memories of sort of teenagers whinging in their bedrooms, I've seen a lot of that. But no, it was one of the greatest projects I've ever been involved with. I mean, it's one of those projects that slightly excites you, you want to do it, but also it slightly frightens you, and that's always a good sign, I think. It's sort of, to be a little bit in awe of a project, stops you being complacent.
Well, with the filmmaking process, everything normally is based so much on the pre-production, the filming, and this one really is so heavily. Well, it's everything. The edit is everything, isn't it? Really.
The material was completely random in a way. We had no idea what people would come up with, and what did they? The things they came up with they're just so zany sometimes, and so left field. I mean, who would have thought that somebody would have done an experiment to see how to startle a snail and send that on that day? It seems a sort of bizarre thing, but anyway, they did, and we used it as our end credit sequence. So.
Was there a kind of template that Kevin had put in the first place so people could work towards that and then make that easier for you in the post-production process?
Kevin did nothing to make anything easier for me at any stage in the process. No, he sort of just, kept me in a darkened room for like incredible hours. No, it's not true. He did come up with this very clever idea, I think, which is to ask some questions of people. What do you love and what do you fear and what's in your pockets? And it's a way of provoking a certain discussion about our attitude towards possessions. We knew that we'd have stuff not only from Hong Kong or sort of LA and teenagers, but also people from Haiti or from Africa who may not have that much. So that was the reason, I think, for that question. And also because Kevin's documentary background, he's very much into people saying what things are really like to be alive today, how they feel, not how television or radio or the newsprint tells us how it is, but how we say it is. So it was very free form though. We really just had to watch the rushes and let it tell us what to make of it.
And have you taken anything away from yourself, an inspiration?
Do you know, one thing I'm doing which I never used to do is I'm filming more. And I think you'll find everybody who worked on the project is actually filming more. I mean, it's an awful thing because I now got to edit even more than there's so much goddamn stuff to edit already, and I suppose I've got to get around to my own material now.
Just on a technical perspective, what solution did you use? Are you a Final Cut? Are you an Avid man?
I'm an Avid man. But I'm a bit snobby about it, actually. I've always been I won't touch Final Cut Pro, but, we had a big shared system, so we had 8 Avids, and we had, 24 24 researchers and 8 assistant editors and a whole raft of production people. So, we had to connect together on a big system, but also there's not one system that could do it all. There were 81,000 clips, and that's actually too big for Avid, so we ended up taking little bits of technical solutions off different shelves. I mean, nobody's done it before, and we know how to do it now, but it was a combination of lots of different things. We just made it up as we went along.
And with the sort of cinematography that was used, obviously people were using different cameras to record there. How do you then put that onto the big screen? Is it to do with the grade?
Well, we didn't want to exclude anybody who was just shooting things on a flip cam, and actually some of the best material in this thing is just sort of shot on people's iPhones or on their telephone. But, the really important thing is to remember we're always trying to make a cinema film out of this, so we knew it had to look good on a big screen, look and sound good, and actually sound was probably even more of a problem than pictures. But, me and Kevin both, feature film background, so we were sort of very trying to make it a rewarding experience for people to look at. And of course, there's some amazing shots that people gave us. I mean, there's a skydiving shot. I've never seen such a good skydiving shot in my life. And there's a whole load of random, surreal images that I'm sure will end up in adverts. I mean, there's people always love a shot of a girl in a tutu in the desert solving a Rubik's Cube whilst doing hula hooping. And I mean, if that doesn't end up as a bank commercial in the next year, I'll be amazed.